in your reach. Victory is always in your reach. Ibrahim.
The bell rang. Ding, 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 ding. The crowd cheered. Woo! In the middle of it all stood one person, Muhammad Ali. He had just won the championship boxing match. But before Muhammad Ali became a champion, before he became the #1 best boxer in the world, Muhammad Ali was just an ordinary man. Yet from a young age, he had a dream. And his dream was to become the #1 best boxer. And so he trained day and night to accomplish his dream. Yet throughout his career, Muhammad Ali wanted to quit many times. He wanted to just throw in the towel and walk away. Yet he never did, because Muhammad Ali knew that victory was always within your reach. Contest master, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests, Muhammad Ali's story inspired me in a time where I wanted to give up. I had just finished a leg surgery and I had missed one entire month of school. Can you imagine missing one entire month of school? Let me tell you, that was a lot of homework. Thankfully, most of my teachers gave me leeway on my assignments, all except for one teacher, Miss Christina. She walked up to me saying, "Ibrahim, welcome back. I'm sorry to give you some bad news. You have to take an exam that you missed by the end of this week." I said, "What? There's no way I can study all of this material in just a few days." She said, "Ibrahim, if you're unable to take your exam by the end of this week, I have to give you a 0. I got back home that day frustrated. I threw my bag on the floor and I laid on my bed staring at the ceiling. I thought to myself, I might as well just take the 0. I'm going to fail it either way. And as I lay there, out of the corner of my eye, I see something. I look up, and it's a poster. Yeah, it's not any ordinary poster. It was a poster of Muhammad Ali standing in the middle of the arena with his hand raised high. And I was reminded of Muhammad Ali's story, and how Muhammad Ali, although he wanted to give up many times throughout his career, he never did, because he knew that victory was always within his reach. I got up, I pulled out my books, I took a deep breath, and I started studying. I studied day and night. Finally, exam day came. I walked in the exam room, nervous yet ready. Miss Christina walked up to me, handed me my test, told me, "Ibrahim, you have 2 hours, good luck." I told her, "Thank you, I'm going to need a lot of luck." I started, question after question. Every once in a while, I look up at the clock to make sure I make the time. Finally, I flipped the last page. I was done. I got up, I turned in my test, and as I sat back down, I stared at her intensely as she began to grade. A scribble here, a circle there, over there. I got more and more nervous with every passing second. I said, "Oh my God, I probably failed." Finally, after what felt like hours of waiting, she got up, she handed me my test, and said, "Ibrahim, congratulations, you just passed." I was out of this world with excitement. I couldn't believe it. Can you imagine if I had decided to take the 0? I would have ended up failing the class. But because I remembered that victory was always within my reach, as long as I tried, I ended up passing. Fellow Toastmasters, contest master, and honored guests, next time you feel like giving up on something that you've worked hard to achieve, or next time you feel like throwing in the towel, remember that victory is always within your reach. Contest master.